My husband's ex-fiancée wore her supposed-to-be wedding gown at our wedding. Now she's screwed. Growing up, I always envisioned a grand princess-style wedding. Our theme was ballroom elegance, and I encouraged everyone to dress in their finest, even telling the married women to wear their own wedding dresses if they wished. I genuinely didn't care about being outdressed. I just wanted to fulfill the opulent aesthetic in my head, where every guest looked nothing short of extravagant. My husband has a childhood friend, Kate, who was also his first love. They even got engaged in their senior year of high school, though the wedding was called off and the relationship ended. They remained friends, and while I never had an issue with Kate being his ex, I quickly grew tired of Kate as a person. She was perpetually stuck in a high school drama loop, gossiping and being subtly malicious. Just a month into my relationship with my now husband, Kate confessed to him that she still had lingering feelings. My husband, bless him, immediately shut her down, reminding her they'd already tried and it hadn't worked. He explicitly told her that if she brought it up again, he would cut her off out of respect for me. That seemed to shift something in Kate. Her overtures ceased, but her attitude towards me curdled into something big nice. She called me a cougar or asked how I expected to make a relationship work as an aspiring anesthesiologist, given the long hours. She even went behind my back, telling my husband's entire friend group how much she disliked my loud personality. When I confronted her about these snide remarks, she dismissed it with an insipid, "Oh, it was just a joke," or "You're so loud. I felt like you would just go off." It was exhausting. Kate is married to a man I'll call Gerald. They're both teachers, making average salaries. Kate had worn a perfectly lovely, though not overly luxurious, dress to her own wedding. However, she possessed a second wedding dress, a fancier one her dad had paid for, intended for her wedding to my husband. Naturally, she hadn't worn that dress to her own ceremony. I fully expected her to wear the dress from her wedding to Gerald to ours. Imagine my shock when, scanning the crowd at my own wedding, I saw Kate. And there it was, the very wedding dress she was supposed to wear when she was engaged to my husband. My immediate internal reaction was a stunned WTF, but I swallowed it down. I refused to let conflict take my wedding day. My husband, however, was equally bewildered. Without me even having to voice my discomfort, he approached her, asking why she'd chosen that particular dress. Her response was chillingly dismissive. "Well, your wife wanted such a big princess wedding. I thought I'd wear this one because it follows the theme more." Don't tell me she's upset about it. She's the one who said, "Come in your nicest clothes, and this is my nicest dress." The audacity was astounding. Update. The morning after the wedding, my husband brought up the dress. He let out a sigh of relief when I admitted it had bothered me. "I didn't know how to bring it up because you didn't seem bothered," he explained. "But when I saw her in that dress, I thought it was very weird. I even considered asking her to leave, but because you had no reaction, I thought you either didn't care or didn't recognize it. If you weren't bothered, I didn't want to disturb your peace." We talked it all out. He confirmed he would be having a serious conversation with Kate, not just about the dress, but about her consistent disrespect towards me. He made it clear that going forward, she would no longer be a friend in our lives. Knowing my husband saw her behavior for what it was, and that he was taking decisive action, brought me immense peace. I decided to let the lingering annoyance go and focus on my beautiful new marriage. In hindsight, the dress incident felt like a small thing, but the larger issue of Kate's toxic presence was now being dealt with. I was at peace knowing she would no longer be a part of our lives, and that was enough. Update 2. When my husband spoke to Kate, her reaction was entirely predictable. She immediately began gossiping to anyone who would listen, spinning a tale of me being a jealous and controlling wife. We simply ignored her. What we didn't know, however, was that Kate and Gerald had been struggling for quite some time and were in couples therapy. After my husband cut Kate off, Gerald, perhaps already having his own suspicions, sat down with my husband. He asked him directly if he truly believed Kate wore that dress out of spite. My husband, always honest, said yes. We initially thought Gerald was questioning us, thinking we were being ridiculous. But as it turned out, he was wondering the same thing himself. He brought the entire wedding dress saga up in their next therapy session. During that session, the truth finally spilled out. Kate admitted she had always thought of my husband as the one who got away, and that she wore the dress specifically out of spite, not for sentimental value or because it was her nicest. Gerald then asked her if she would go back to my husband if he were to divorce me. She denied it, but apparently she hesitated significantly. Gerald knew she was lying. Kate's desire for an illusion of control and her self-centered entitlement ultimately backfired spectacularly. Her true feelings were laid bare, not just to us, but to her own husband, in a therapeutic setting. She lost her carefully constructed image, her friendship with my husband, and significantly damaged her own marriage. My husband and I are thriving, completely free of her toxic presence, living a stronger, happier life. Karma truly found its way home.